everybody, today I am doing a haul because I just got this package in from corsetmaking.com, and I also got some new mesh fabric in from Farthingales, so I'm going to show you guys what I got. So I've only ordered a couple of times from corsetmaking.com, only because I'm in Canada and so international shipping is a little bit prohibitive there, but they just have so many cool things on their site, like these flexi-stays here that I can't find elsewhere. You know, it's pretty much a unique product, I think. So I really wanted to try just a bunch of them. So I got a bunch of different stuff from them. So in this bag, you can see the flexi-stays. So not too long ago on Foundations Revealed, there was an article that was called "Why Plastic Boning is Better Than Steel," and I was like, say what? And so I decided to get some of these flexi-stays, which is not the same as you know, German synthetic whalebone, but I'm going to just make a little cincher from these. This is the longest that the bones come in, so it will have to be like a little cincher or a waspy, and you know, just wear it in and try it out for a little bit and see how long they last. And they also flex from side to side as well as up and down, kind of like a spiral steel. So just as a comparison, here is the flexi-stay, and here is a spiral steel bone that I already have, and it's about as flexible. And in this little envelope I got this Grommet tape. Now usually when I see the little eyelet tape, it only has space enough for a bone on one side, but this one has enough space for bones on both sides. So what I would use this for is sewing it onto a mock-up, and so then I don't have to deal with, you know, wasting a ton of grommets on the grommet panel for toiles and muslins and mock-ups and whatever you want to call it. It is still a one-piece eyelet, but it doesn't have that like the perforations in the back so that it splays outwards and grabs onto the fabric. So we'll see how long this is actually set in, like pretty tightly. So yeah, I'm gonna sew this onto some mock-ups and see how it works, and then after I'm finished with that mock-up, I can just rip this out again and use it on the next one. Oh, here is the spiral steel bone. So I first saw these plastic dipped spiral bones in July, I believe, when I was staying with Amber, and they felt so weird, but they really are smooth. I was doubtful. I thought that maybe the wire would actually poke right through the plastic, but they are very, very smooth, and I feel that these would be less bulky than the U-tips on that I use on the bones I already have here. So I have a ton of U-tips. I'm not going to stop using the U-tips, but I really wanted to try these and see how they worked, especially when it comes to like flossing boning channels. You know, does it really make a difference? Or, you know, like a really couture piece where I don't want the little bumps of the U-tips showing through the fabric. And next up, got some lacing bones, and so these must be the fusion lacing bones because they are so stiff. So like I was saying with one of my previous videos, if you have a lot of curve to your spine, you don't want to use the fusion lacing bones because it's just going to be way too stiff and not form to your lumbar spine. Like it's pretty stiff here. I don't want to like bend it too much. I don't want to risk breaking it. But what you could use these lacing bones for is, for instance, in the front of a corset where you want it to be very flat. This might work a little bit better for the front of a corset. Now, one of the advantages of having lacing bones as opposed to just sandwiching grommets between two bones is that they're almost impossible to rip out because the grommet is directly anchored by the steel bone inside of the fabric, and it's not only holding onto the fabric, which can fray and you know, disintegrate, and then you lose your hold on it. However, you do need to find grommets that A, fit into the holes in the first place, and B, have a shank that is long enough that you can actually see. This is a size 0. This is not going to fit in the lacing bone. So let's try the 00 grommets here. Let's see if they fit. Oh, they do fit. Okay, so these lacing bones are good for 00. And the shanks, so I mean, technically there is enough, like just enough that if I press that down, it would hold onto the back. But also consider that you need the fabric over top of the lacing bone as well. So it would have to be a pretty thin layer of fabric if I wanted it to like press down and actually hold in appropriately. So if you can find some long shank grommets, then that would be best. I don't know if corsetmaking.com specifically sells long shank grommets to go with this. Now, I think I also bought the non-fusion. Yes, they are here. So, oh yeah, that's super bendy. So this is the example of the non-fusion coated. So these would definitely work against your lumbar spine if you have lordosis or if you have a shelf bum or anything. They seem to be thinner as well because they don't have the coating. Yes, they are quite a bit thinner. I would say maybe 30 to 40% thinner than the fusion coated one. So these ones would definitely work better even if you had like the fabric around it. You might have just enough that you might be able to press down the grommet and have it hold in here. But I would not use this for the front of a corset because then you might get that bowing out. You know, they're pretty flexible. So I would definitely use these bones for the back of a corset and then these bones for the front of a corset if I were to use lacing bones. And I thought I also got a busk in here. Yay! So you can see it's a gold busk. I've been planning on buying a gold busk forever, like probably 3 or 4 years now, and I just never got around to it. I've owned corsets that had the antique bronze bust, but not the bright shiny gold like this. So what I wanted to use this for was to go with this dress, and I would actually like cut out all around here and use this as applique on a black corset that would have external boning channels breaking it up, since I don't think I can cut in between these because I think it would just make the embroidery just shred. But then I would have like the gold busk in there as well and then flossing on some external channels. So that's my plan. We'll see. You know, maybe it'll be 2018 by the time I finish this corset. So that was my corsetmaking.com haul, and these fabrics I got from Farthingales. Now, I originally bought this to try and finish my show piece in like less than 2 weeks before I went to England, but I just ran out of time in between all of my traveling this summer. So yeah, but I have the white mesh and I have the dark mesh here, and they feel pretty similar. They don't have very much of a bias stretch here, but this is one layer of the black mesh and this is one layer of the white mesh. Now, the thing that I'm noticing right away is that it's a little bit less stiff than the mesh that is from So Curvy Corsetry, I believe. So if you want a bit of a softer mesh, then maybe these would be a little bit better. But it's very pokey around the edges. The edges are almost sharp even. So do be careful when you're, you know, cutting these out so you don't give yourself like cuts or get the tiny fiber stuck in your fingers or anything. I think some people actually take a lighter to the edges so that they don't like fray into oblivion when you're working on it. Because like if you're cutting out panels and you're getting all this stuff, then this might affect the accuracy of your seam allowances, and it's also not very pretty. And you also don't want these things like poking into you when you're wearing it, and you also don't want the fabric to just fray away out over time and then have your corset disintegrate. So I will probably experiment with like taking a lighter or a candle to the edges and seeing if it helps to seal in the edges and prevent the pokiness as well. But because this is plastic, I would probably have to do it in a well-ventilated area. And I'm not sure if this is coming out on camera, but when you put 2 layers together, it makes a really cool moire effect, that sort of interference there. That's awesome. So this concludes my corset making supplies haul, I guess. So thanks for sitting through this. If you have tried any of these, like the lacing bones or the flexi-stays or the mesh here, let me know what you made from it. If you can like link me to what you actually made, that would be awesome. And let me know what you think of it, you know, how you like these, if they worked for you or not. And if I actually get around to making anything before the end of the year, I'll definitely record it and show you guys, you know, how I used it exactly. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.